What's up, y'all? It's Shuffle, and today we're going to talk about the patch notes for the first free update for Darkest Dungeon 2. So this is the first of what sounds like many planned updates, which is excellent news. We'll talk about the patch notes, we'll do a little housekeeping for stuff, and I'll throw in whatever random bits and bobs and thoughts and whatnot that creep into my brain. So to start with the housekeeping, I'm going to start the majority of my DD2 videos going forward with we need a hero balance patch. I really just need to put the pressure on. I think we needed it a year ago. We needed it when Paz came out, and we need it now. So I hope that's soon TM, because it's not in this one, but we do need that. They are sponsoring a few streams. I know I sold out by taking money for the game that I made a job out of already. So no, there's just Red Hook giving back to their community, which is always nice. So I'll be playing it outside of the sponsored stuff, of course, but there's just gonna be a couple that are sponsored, and they're gonna go to one of them is gonna go to Steam. They're gonna play it a couple times. So, full transparency. And besides that, some other stuff I am considering. I have opened up channel memberships on YouTube. I'm just gonna try it, see how it goes. Since YouTube gives me a bigger slice of the revenue, I can make the prices a bit more affordable than what Twitch has, but pretty much it's kind of a copy of that. It's gonna be like the same sub badge as some of the emotes I have. So if you want to support the channel and get some perks, I listed some perks with them and whatnot, then you are free to do so. Sure you join Discord and all that. And the reason I'm setting that up is because I want to stream on YouTube at least a few times just to see how it is. This is not something new. Other creators with much bigger platforms are doing that, and even though Twitch is a really good viewer experience outside of the super intrusive ads, they take at least like half of everything that comes my way. And that's that's getting a bit harder to manage as time goes on. So I'm gonna try it. We'll stream some Battle Brothers. I think that's gonna be the first one soonish, either this week or next week. I'm gonna take a trip to PAX coming up, which is a whole other story, but yeah. Okay. I think that's it for housekeeping. And in terms of the patch notes, let's get to the patch notes. Let's see. The CHIRURGEON's table, this is the enemy that was alluded to quite a while ago, several months, almost a year, I think. And this is Sammy's Make-A-Wish events. I don't know the best way to describe it, but Sammy, who is an awesome person, loves DD2, probably DD1, I imagine. And when he got to talk to Red Hook, one of the things that came up was he thought it'd be cool to have a new enemy. And so now we have the CHIRURGEON, which normally, or at first was just going to be an enemy, but now it sounds like it is a node. And that makes it way cooler. So in this update, even though Collector is probably the big draw, it is named after a CHIRURGEON, which is pretty cool. And so we also get some extra enemies and all of that. And so I'm gonna... when we get the Infernal overhaul, thank goodness, dude, I'm so happy for that. Anyone that's been watching my Grand Slam series and a couple other videos where I talk about Infernal, I really disliked the 1.0 versions, and they're rebalancing them, so we'll see what happens with that. The game is now Steam Deck compatible, and it has gamepad support. And this is really good news for a few reasons, just because gamepads are a popular medium to play games with. Steam Deck has also sold pretty well from what I understand. And I take this as the precursor that the game is coming to console at some point, because getting it ready for controllers, which is what, all consoles are using, is the big first hurdle. And so if it's ready for controllers, then I don't know how programming works. I don't know what other things they have to do to port it to consoles, but this is the major step. I think it's downhill from here in terms of getting it to consoles. All right. So what do we get? Collector has returned. He looks really cool if you've seen the pictures and the YouTube short that Red Hook put up. CHIRURGEON is a mini-boss designed with the help of a DD2 superfan named Sam through Make-A-Wish Foundation. CHIRURGEON will have his own unique location, the CHIRURGEON Stable, that can appear in any region. Battle here to win unique rewards. So one of the things that came before CHIRURGEON were his items. And so the Appalling Apron, the Spike Skull Cap, and all that, Bonesaw, those were from him, you know, and we got to play with them before the enemy was in the game. So that's kind of like the first part of it, you know, and this is the second part of this enemy. Test your prowess against a host of new champions. Lead enemies will randomly appear in battle as you carve your path to the mountain. If you didn't see the YouTube short, it looks like the new elites are going to be a Whipper from Sprawl, Knight from Tangle, which is horrifying, Skyver, which is horrifying, Captain, and I think Butcher? Like, Butcher's a weird choice, honestly. I'm glad it wasn't like Lady or Lord, but it is weird that it was Butcher. But, you know, I guess it makes sense because Black Phillip is the first Fetter elite, and Butcher has synergy with the goats. It gives them bonus damage. So I don't know if they can spawn together or not. That's gonna be crazy if they can. But yeah, so let me know your experience with them. Enjoy the comprehensive updates to the Infernal Flame and General Torch system. The goal here is to build upon existing systems and provide additional flavor, identity, and strategy for players wanting more challenge. Looking ahead, our team is excited for everyone to experience the first of many updates we have planned for DD2, but we have grand plans for the road ahead. Like how they keep using the word road because, you know, DD2 is about a road trip. I think it's funny if it's not intentional. As mentioned before, we are steadily working towards hero origin skins, mod support, this is a big one, and other quality of life improvements. I think, like, everything they add to the game is going to be good and welcome. I think mod support, I don't even want to call it the sleeper. I really think the game's just going to pop off when that happens. Just because, you know, it adds a lot of replayability, gives me a lot of content, if I can be quite honest, because I missed the mod wave in DD1. Besides, like, Black Reliquary, so in DD2, I can just cover random ass. Be great. Additionally, we're focusing on new features that will help improve some of the areas that receive the most lukewarm or negative feedback. Specifically, we want to continue to improve the sense of agency and dynamism, reduce some areas of RNG, plus add more variety and replayability. This game really needs these the most. Like, it needs hero balance and replayability. That's what it needs, because, you know, that's what keeps people playing for a long time. Mod support is replayability, just a bit indirectly and not first party. Look forward to sharing those details with you as these features approach completion. We love this game and we'll continue to keep making it better and better. Thanks for your support. This is excellent news, though. Just the fact that they are going to keep, you know, pushing the game, keep updating it and stuff like that. So I know there are people that don't like it, you know, they didn't like it at the start. They didn't like it on 1.0, but I'm hoping that eventually those people will, at least some of them will come around as they keep adding to it. Be interesting to see. Added controller support, Xbox and PS controllers supported. Sorry, I'm getting DMs like off screen here. I'll try not to look over there. I look over here to check to make sure, you know, my recording's going okay and stuff, but message. All right. So there's controller support. I will try and use controller. I have a 360 controller plugged into my computer, and I will try and use it. Maybe not for the first run, but I'll use it going forward for a couple just to show how it works. Combat end of round action behavior adjusted to better clarify when important round actions will occur in combat. We made some changes to the way information is conveyed. The short end of this is that there are some extra actions and stuff, like certain bosses will get bonus actions if you don't meet a condition, like a damage check, like a threshold. Then they get access to, you know, something like a super attack. And I'm not going to say who and what just for spoilers, but those don't show up on the turn tracker, which, you know, if you're an experienced player, it's not that big of a deal because you're aware that it happens. But for new players, it's a bit weird because they'll see that there's no, you know, enemy turn coming up, and then they get blasted by something. So this is a good change. Bonus actions are not subject to standard turn rules such as dot ticks. Unfortunate, but understandable. Monsters, Collector, CHIRURGEON. Added some mashes have been adjusted or removed. 60 new variant mashes. That's a lot. Been added to resist encounters. I mean, over like 5 regions, you know, or 4.5. I guess, you know, it makes sense, but a lot of these could be with the new elites. So that could be like half of them right there. Champions will no longer spawn during wave 1 of lair encounters. I think, could they do this already? And they took that out? It's interesting. Increased appearance rate of champions during wave 2 of lair encounters. So well, the difficulty, it's more of a scaling difficulty. So wave 1's probably like a normal mash. Wave 2 is a champ mash, and then you have the boss. So that's pretty good. Priest appearance rate of champions at resist encounters. Understandable, you know, because you have no new champions out there, so now you get, you know, better chance to see them. Champions have a small chance of appearing at region 3 resist encounters in Confession 4 and above. I don't quite know. Is this region? They say region 2 or 3, but I think the game counts the valley as region 1. So I think this means technically region 2 from how most of us treat it. So that means they appear a bit earlier, which, again, more confession scaling. I'm glad this is in 4 onward, not 3, because 3 is really the hard cut between, you know, normal and hard. So I like that something is taken away from Act 3. Champions always have a small chance of appearing in the sluice in Confession 4 onwards. So even if you take like 2nd region sluice, you have a chance of seeing this new stuff. Cultists. Ooh, monster balancing. Worship is no longer a free action. Thank goodness. Oh my god, thank goodness. Because it was really annoying with the cultists, because the first worship would come, you know, on turn 3 relatively slow. You know, they get their first action, get a token, second action, get another token. And then their first turn, and then their turn on turn 3 would be worship and then attack, because it was a free action. And so after that, every other worship came like a turn faster. And hopefully it's not doing that anymore. I like this change. This is a good change. I didn't even consider it, so good. Worship got a bit stronger. That's fine because it's, you know, a full turn. Altar. If the altar worships, it now grants a block, dodge, or strength weighted towards block in Confessions 1 and 2. Interesting. Same thing with Cherub. Okay, I like this. Yeah, okay. This gives worship more of its own identity, where this does a few things. Since it's not a free action anymore, you're not incentivized to like blitz them down as hard. I mean, you still want to, but it kind of takes away a little bit, like 10% of the issue of stuff being a DPS check. And it's more thematic. If they're giving certain, or look at this, steals. Yeah, see, look at this is a good change. These are all good changes. I like this. Exaltation can target rank 2. That's interesting. Cardinal Exaltation does more damage. This is the Deacon one. But what I was saying is it gives every cultist enemy a bit more identity, although they already had some. Or they had a lot, I should say. It's a nice change. Doing that. New champion in the Fanatics. Whipper, Whipcrack, and Trip can now apply combo when a champion is present, even if the Whipper is not ignited. This is a very rare interaction. Like, usually, these things are not alive long enough for the, you know, combos and stuff to really matter. And currently, I don't know what interaction has with the new champ, but with her ladyship, I think she gets like a bonus off combo. So this is just more synergy, especially if the other one gets it. Blind Shaman, ignited burning beads, now usable in 3 and 4 instead of 1, 2, and 3. Yeah. Fixing an issue in which Shaman would continually pass turns. So if you didn't know, ignited Shaman in rank 4 specifically, what it would do, I think, Blazing Aegis and then skip his turn. And it was just that over and over. And so they stopped that. Fisherfolk Champ, Captain, fixed an issue where bleed damage dealt by Coral Grief was unaffected by modifiers. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an issue. You could leave it. Controlled Burn's not affected by modifiers. So why is this? Hero balance. Leviathan, fix an issue where Call of the Deep tokens remain on the hero after they are freed from Undertow. This was really annoying because you couldn't really tell if that person was, you know, still in danger, so that's good. Knight, fix an issue where DBR was higher than intended in some cases. I mean, dude capped out at 90 on Stygian, so. Remove several incomplete pillager matches. So I guess no, like, two sword guys anymore. Just more stuff. Let's see. New champion for Plague Eaters. Butcher's 50% damage buff is now lost immediately upon death instead of the start of the next turn. That's good, just slightly less damage. Black Phillip got buffed. Just buff livestock, a maids, being debuff and stuff. I really wish they would change maids. What is it? Like maid and lady, their blight attacks, no joke, are like 30 damage. It's a little bit less, like 26. But it's like 4 to 7 on hit and then like 16 plus in blight. Which is like, what the heck, man? It's quite a bit. And they both have that, so I'd like it if they lost that. Swine, new champions, the Skyver one. Spitzeros, knockback effect reduced from 3 to 2, so it's not just your Hellion gets catapulted to 4, which is nice. Same with Leper. And this one no longer used if a hero has combo, and this one cannot be used when either champion is present. Yikes. Does that mean Skyver champ gets a synergy with that? That'd be so funny. New champions join the rank of the Gaunts. So they're considering CHIRURGEON a champ, even though he's also like a boss? I don't know. Shambler now correctly spawns in low light conditions at Pillager Road Barricades. Someone told me that there's 2 different kinds of road barricades. There are the Gaunt and the Pillager ones, if you look closely, and I never noticed that, so I'll try and look out for that. Oh, okay. Sorry, spoilers, Act 5. You know, I'll talk about that later. Yeah. I didn't realize it was just right there. So, items. Several new items have been added and can be found defeating Collector and CHIRURGEON. Let's see. The CHIRURGEON's items are now only found at the table. So, you can't get them from, like, the Good Doctor Inn or hospitals now. Sorry, hiccups. Increased chances of BH spawning with his unique trinkets. Good. Why doesn't he just spawn with them all the time? I don't understand. You sink a bunch of candles into this dude. Give him his stuff. Infernal flames have been updated. Do they say what it is here? How about the flame levels? No, they don't. Boo. Death's Head trinkets. Version that has on entering Death's Door, strength block plus -2 stress. Also now triggers when leaving Death's Door. So the Death's Head trinkets got buffed. There was one specifically that was pretty bad. Can't remember which one it is, but let's see if it's on this. Okay, so the Death's Head that on entering Death's Door you get speed and stealth -2 stress. Now also triggers. It's kind of weird that you get speed and stealth. This one seems kind of bad just at base. Because if you hit Death's Door, you know, you might have a bleed on you, and then you're going to outspeed your entire team and die next turn, possibly. So that's actually not that good. If anything, it should give you like a speed and a date, or a stealth and a daze token, so you're in, like, you know. What is it? Stealth longer? I don't know. Version that has remove all negative tokens and remove all dots now has 100% debuff, bleed, blight, burn, resist while in Death's Door. Yo, that's kind of good. And then let's see, the version that gives you bonus damage now is 25% crit. Oh, that's kind of sick. I like that. Okay. Stagecoach items, CHIRURGEON's table renamed operating table. CHIRURGEON's directory now has 100% chance of scouting his locale. All pets are now available at the Valley Inn. Excellent. Perfect. So now you can build a team around a pet before you go and then pick up the pet. So instead of going, oh, I'm going to make a dance team for the baby croc and the croc doesn't show up, you know, now you just get to choose. That's great. Good change. Flame levels, a lot of text here. So I think the higher ones. What's this previous default flame levels for all confessions? I thought you got speed. Like, I thought it was +1 speed up here. It might not be. Let's see. It says here, flame level effects now properly change based on confession, and the range of flame levels has been reduced from 7 to 5 to align with the names. Oh, I see. So instead of having, 7 flame levels, but like 5 brackets, I think it was, now it's just 5 and 5 or 7 and 7. I don't know. But let's see. The bonus DBR minus DBR. Oh, at high torch, it used to be the end. Oh, it's here. Okay. Yeah. So the more torch you have, the more DBR you have, and then the less you have, the less DBR, death blow resist, and then you have a higher chance to get blinded. And then the enemies, when you have max torch and stuff, they can be blinded, and then advanced chance and stuff goes up as it goes down. Updated. Okay, so now it's per confession, or is that just for denial? They made denial easier. That's fine. And then general fixes. All right. That's it. I'm not going to read the Act 5 thing. Just, I don't want to, like, do the jump cut or whatever, so I apologize for that, but these are the patch notes. Let me know what you're thinking down below in the comments. Very excited to see how it plays. Hopefully more content soon, TM, from Red Hook, although there's already a big update, but, new heroes, hero balance, DLC, the desert region, Shieldbreaker returns. I don't know what's happening, man. No insider info on that, but yeah. Thanks for watching. Support the channel if you want to, so things like Patreon and channel memberships, etc. And if you're interested in Darkest Dungeon 2, click the link, the wishlist link that I have with the video and stuff like that, just because that's how they track engagement. Costs you nothing. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.